so patient, everybody. Thank you so much. So it is it is time to start, our show, right? So welcome to the Startup Seekers, the Real Negosyante Talk with me, Miss O, and Miss Maria K10 right over there. And today we will be talking about how you can support yourself and your employees through this COVID-19 crisis. So, Maria, would you like to give us the introduction? Hello to everybody who just joined in.
So, hello, kumusta friends? We are streaming live on Kumu and on Facebook. And every week, we are here and we really share a lot of behind the scenes and very up to date views on businesses, on parang backdoor meeting rooms. And today, specifically, we're going to share about supporting your team and yourself during this COVID because one of the things that we do, Miss O and I do, we really focus on helping you with your problems today. Meaning, nag-a-adjust kami with the trends, especially with now with COVID. That is why we're very excited to share with everyone. Now we're doing negosyo tips for a cause. This is already created and it's going to be a virtual thing. It's a virtual um, roundtable. It's a virtual meeting where you and I, with Miss O, we brainstorm good things for your businesses. Kasi, again, it's important right now to get support. So we're going to be sharing more on that later on. But I'm very glad to be here. I'm Maria. I'm a
Yes.
business coach, and I specifically focus on helping misunderstood genius, the misfits, the innovators create certain successes and business models and structures around who they are, around their lifestyle, around what they want to do in this world. And I've served more than 1,000 clients from all over the world with marketing, communications, and business operations. So I'm very, very glad to be here in Kumu, tsaka dito sa Facebook.
Awesome. So, guys, like what I mentioned, our topic for today is really a combination of what I do for a living, right? So it's a combination of mental health and business sense, right? Because we want you to be able to know how to take care of yourself and your employees' mental health state, right? So that you can sustain your business better, you can run your business better, even though we are in quarantine. Um, a lot has changed over the course of 3 weeks. In such a short amount of time, we've been forced into this new normal wherein we are stuck at home, we are working from home. And so a lot of things has changed. Your workplace has changed, the dynamics of the group has changed. Even the way that we interact with people and our customers has changed. The way that we conduct our business has changed. So it is very, very important for us to be able to not only empathize, but really to analyze what's really going on um, within our businesses, right? And what could
And also
possibly
evolve, right?
affect
Like
our
evolve with
employees because of these changes, right?
yes, yes. And
Yes,
and I
Maria?
think it's also
Evolve with
important to
we
hear
want to be
na
able to
we have
evolve with what's
we
going
have
on.
yes, evolve with the trend, evolve with what's happening now without losing sight of what's important in a business. Without losing sight of the vision, of the principles, of the core message, of the core vision of a company. Kasi I think with the shift sometimes that ang
Of the
daming, you
company,
have so
right?
many pieces all moving together. Yeah, you have so many pieces moving together. Minsan nawawal na that we lose sight of some things that we still need to take care of, including let's say boundaries, including being more structured for meetings,
Yes.
including having your own me time. Kasi nawawala,
Mm-hmm.
parang there's no more divide right now between work and home kasi everybody's working
Yes.
from home.
Everything is enmeshed. lahat naka-enmesh na, 'di ba? Halo-halo. So, mabilis ma-burnout. So, let's talk about that, Maria, right? Let's talk about those things that we really, really need to hold on. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to adjust the phone camera. There you go. Much better. First of all, I'd like to, before we start discussing things, um, guys, please feel free to ask all of your questions and share your experiences with us, okay? Ano yung mga anxieties nyo? Ano yung mga natatakot kayo na yun na naka-quarantine tayo? Okay, especially if you own your own business or maybe you're an employee, 'di ba? Ano yung mga na-experience nyo? Lalo na parang na yun, sobrang daming meetings na, 'di ba? Mas madami pa kaysa sa dati. And it's all done virtually, right? So let's see. Maria, I think we need to really evolve, right? Start evolving, right? With the crisis. As it unfolds, we also need to start adapting to what's going on to be able to address the different needs, right? Of not only ourselves as CEOs, not only of our employees, but also our customers, right?
Exactly. This we've been talking about it, and right now, like in my business, I've evolved very well. So I'm not economically affected by how things are going. Pero it's something that we really need to consider. And I think that starts with how the workplace have evolved right now, diba? So we spoke about how everything is meshed, but let's go into details there. So the first thing I think is we have more meetings right now, pero less structured. Parang everybody wants to host a meetup, everybody wants to host a meeting, everybody wants to host a virtual series. So it's really not just in the corporate world. So startups, this is happening. I think within communities, this is happening. I think there is an increased need and desire for a lot of people to be part of something, to be always, alam mo yun, part of the conversation. They don't want to miss
To be
out on things.
productive.
Yes, yes, yes. And in doing
Yes.
so, I think parang you now overly commit to a lot of things, and then there's the structure of the day becomes lost in the conversation, in the digital
Yes.
transformation.
Good evening, Merlin. So let's take a look at that first thing, right? So you mentioned more meetings, less structure, right? So now because of, we're all working from home, we're not commuting to our different business establishments or our office. Now that we are just home, people think, oh, it's easier. You have no excuse not to get to this meeting, right? If you have Wi-Fi, a good phone connection, meeting na yan agad. Ang nangyayari is actually, your time is actually not being respected properly, right?
Respected.
Because
Yeah.
even if it's, yeah, even if it's outside the working hours, now they feel like they can just call you up anytime. Kasi nasa bahay ka lang naman eh. Which is not healthy, right? It is not healthy. So there's more meetings, but there's less structure. Maria, can you expound on this?
So let's say like me, I have an online operation. So for me, I've in the beginning it was tough because since you're so used to meeting physically, meron kasi usually you look at the time, di ba? Parang we're so aware, okay, let's look at the time, let's look at the clock. But sometimes kasi when we're doing this virtually, especially when you just shifted into a virtual setup, what happens is, parang, okay, you schedule, minsan na-overcommit ka because you're thinking, oh, but I don't have to travel. So I can just schedule things back to back. Parang okay, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour. So it's really important to really be mindful
Parang
of the time and of
nakakapagod.
exactly, and you have to be mindful of your agenda for the meeting, for the call. Pero normally kasi ang tao with the shift sa umpisa, parang nawawala na yung agenda. Parang there's a lot of chit chat and you focus too long on the chit chat na for me, the one thing that needs to be translated is an agenda. What are the things that we want to talk about and we want to cover in this call? And we have to be very mindful and respectful of the time of each other kasi these are the things, these are the important things. The others, catching up. Then schedule a catch up. That's a different meeting for me. Usually kasi pag naka-online, people,
Yes.
lalo na if you're just going online, you're just transitioning, nawawala na. Is this a catch up? Is this a meeting? Is this a planning session? Is this a work session? So for me,
Exactly.
even with
So,
even with my team, I'm very, very careful na, okay, this is a work session, meaning siguro we're sharing virtual work time. And then this is a planning
mm-hmm.
session or just a meeting session na we're just looking at what we're doing ahead of time. With my clients, it's the same. Is this a check-in call or is this a strategy call? So yung that
Yes.
specificity would make you more mindful of the purpose of the call and keeping the for lack of better word, I call it sacredness. The sacredness of the purpose of that call or that session. Because
That
it doesn't
meeting.
mean a virtual
Yes.
siya that there is no time. We still run on the
No,
same
and I
24-hour
think
limit.
kasi exactly what I think what happening is because you're at home and usually you're just in your house clothes, right? Sometimes you just put on a nice top. You're even just in your shorts underneath, right?
In
It's a little
pajamas.
bit. It feels
Yeah.
casual in pajamas, diba? So nagmi-meeting ka talaga shirt mo, konting makeup, pero like naka-shorts ka lang, right? So it feels casual. So the formality of having a meeting, is sometimes lost. So that's why you really need to make sure that there is structure that hey, this is still a business call. This is not a time for us
Yeah.
to catch up,
Chit
and
chat.
make chica. It's not that,
Yeah.
diba? So that's a very very important point. Now, why do we say that you need to like really really what do you call this watch out for this, right? It is because when you tend to lose structure, people's productivity goes down. Okay, people's productivity goes down, their efficiency goes down, and also the rates of burnout becomes higher because you're
Higher. Yeah.
basically what yeah, you're basically people don't know their expectations and boundaries anymore. Remember that your workplace has
Mm-mm.
changed. So sa office meron rules, may regulations, meron tayong sinusunod ng mga protocols, right? However, now that we're all working from home, sometimes those boundaries, they kind of like go away. It's very hard. Ikaw as a leader, as the boss, as the CEO, you need to set proper boundaries and really structure your new workplace. Okay, let's go to the next
Yeah,
point,
yeah, yeah.
Maria. The more demands, less boundaries, right? So mas maraming ang meeting, sunod-sunod ang mga meeting natin, pero wala na, hindi na nare-respect ang mga time natin, 'di ba? Puros trabaho na lang. Talagang parang walang break, 'di ba? Kasi sa office, 'di ba, we
And
if we have a meeting, we get to stay in our cubicle or our desk for some time before we go to the meeting, and then we can turn it on over there. While we are at our desk, pwede tayong medyo mag-relax lang, chika with our desk mate or our office mates. So there is an off time. There is time to kind of like just relax. And then we go to the meeting. Na yun, tuloy-tuloy ang meeting. See, Golden Girl agrees. True, right? So
yes, yes.
Golden Girl says, people expect you to be there all the time, kahit lunchtime na. See? More demands, right? Less boundaries. Whereas as office, we know, oh, lunchtime, lunchtime. We get to go out, we get to decompress a little bit, right? But now, it's not like that anymore. So as a good leader, as a good CEO, di ba? Or as a good boss, dapat respetuhin mo pa din ang times, di ba? So like we said, there has to be structure. You have to put in your boundaries properly. And you as an employee, kailangan mag-voice out ka din na, sir, it's already lunchtime, diba? So Maria, you were saying, sorry before I cut you off.
I wanted to add na on top of the demands of the office, right? Of the work, of the business, kasi bigla ka nag-switch on at home, it's likely na you don't have a home office setup. And yung home office setup mo, parang you just put it together just last minute for this for the transition. And ang nangyayari, dahil you're at home, you're also split kasi your family has other demands on you then, right? Parang yung distractions, it's more. And parang the boundaries become really invisible. Parang it's more thin, it's
Blurry.
less,
It becomes
it's very blurry.
blurry.
Exactly. It gets blurred kasi on one side you worry about your office and then siguro your parents see, oh, nasa bahay lang naman siya, she's just talking, nakapajama siya. It's possible that you're just wearing
Yeah.
pajama and just you put on a coat, right? So your family members or your
And
spouses, your parents assume na you're just chatting kasi this is a totally new thing for them, right? They think na this is not work. And I remember when I first went online, kasi I was a consultant before I did online coaching, right? My mother's question was, okay, how can you make money there? And why don't you just, at that time, I was living in Taipei, and she just kept talking about if you're not happy doing consulting or you want to do something else, come back to Manila, open a business. Di ba? Kasi for that generation, they
kasi
think
they need the
na
physical.
business needs to be tangible. Yes, exactly. So yung when we
Yes.
say that the demands become more, it's not simply the demands of the work. It's also the demands in the personal life. Kaya nagiging doble ang stress mo. Because on one side, you're focused
Yes.
on the let's say on the call, and then suddenly your I don't know, your daughter comes in, your mom comes in, whoever comes in and talks
Hi,
about whatever,
Timmy.
the dog comes in. So then I think
Oh,
with some
Golden
people
Girl
kasi
says
you're just
very good point here.
yes, and kahit na yung
Golden
dogs,
Girl
right?
has a
So
very good
I
point.
yeah, exactly. So
She
like
said,
yung
need
some
to
of my
distinguish
clients would
workspace and resting space,
yes,
which is really, really
exactly. And
true.
also
So you really need to distinguish the workspace and the resting space. So like that means that if there is a meeting going on, if you're working, you have to let people know today is work.
yes,
This time to this time is work time, right? Please,
yes.
please
Parang
let me
we
work
need to have a
here
do not
in
disturb.
the dinner table. Yes.
Yeah, we
Na
need to have a do
irrespect
not
pa din
disturb
na
sign.
it's work time.
Yes. Parang we have to have some kind of like sign that says do not disturb or meeting
Yeah.
going on.
Yes, kasi ang nangyayari is like, they think that you're just there chatting with somebody and then they come and they start bugging you or parang, what are you doing, And then that
Yes,
causes stress
exactly.
on yourself, right? So just like what Maria said, baka yung dog, diba? Hi, Timmy. Welcome to the stream. Yes, we are currently streaming on two platforms. Yes, that's a very, very good point, Golden Girl. Like seriously, right? So like with this, with the more demands and less boundaries, as a leader, you have to be quite what do you call this? Aware of
Communicative.
this.
And you need to
Yeah,
communicate this.
you have to communicate to everybody, to the whole team. Hindi pa dahil lang you are having a meeting tapos 4 hours na your meeting, right? And then you've already crunched on their lunchtime. So that's really, really quite what do you call this? That's really quite irresponsible of you as a leader. Let me see.
Mm.
Rand says here, nawala ang internet habang nanonood ng home session, right? And then Timmy's like, oh my God, perfect. Like, yeah, I mean, that's quite stressful because in the new workplace, because we are all working from home, having that connectivity, that Wi-Fi connectivity is very important to us, right? And sometimes because everybody else is home, they're watching Netflix, people are playing, the bandwidth hindi na nakakaya, and then you lose that
Yes.
connection. So that's quite stressful. So there has to be a setting of boundaries. There has to be putting up that new structure, right? Because our new workplace is now also our resting place. And so we need to start really um, identifying, okay, when I'm working here. I'm working by the dinner table or in the office or here in my bedroom. And when it's this time to this time, bawal nyo ako i-disturb, right? So, Maria, right?
Exactly.
And as a leader, as the boss, as the CEO, right? You need to do this not only to support yourself, but to support your employees. So being really aware, right, of the more meetings, less structure, or the more demands and less boundaries that's going on, you need to establish the proper protocols because of the new because our workplace has changed, so that you can support a
Yeah.
healthy mindset for
And work
yourself and for
environment.
your
Yes.
employees.
And also work
Yes, you don't want your
environment.
work environment to become
Yeah.
toxic. That's right.
Yeah.
You have to remember
And not
your work environment is also the home environment.
Yes, exactly. And the one thing I want to add about demands is because right now we're living in a very crisis mode, right? So since it's very crisis mode, ang daming spontaneous, meaning a lot of things just happen on the fly. Right now, there are new ideas, there are new things, and sometimes if this is not communicated properly, the team might assume that that the leader needs everything today. Right. Kasi nga wala nga siyang
Yes.
clear na boundary na are we just discussing? Is this a
Yes.
directive? Is this a brainstorming session? So what I find really helpful, I really give priorities. Okay, these are the things that we want to do in the next, sabi mo, in the next month. But these are the key priorities for this week. Yun lang. And I think it's really, kung if the leader, if you're lucky and you have your own assistant, ask your assistant to manage the activities, just to say when is happening, what is the key, what is what. Kasi with the evolving
Correct.
nature, so right now sobrang dali na ay maganda tong idea na to, let's do that. Or and right now with online, you also go and look at what other people are doing. So there is that pressure then na
Yes.
to keep up with what
That's
other people
pressure
are
to
doing,
become, yes. So this
to
is called
become all.
productivity pressure, right? And this
Yes,
productivity
yes.
pressure, exactly, to become all, right? This actually could be quite detrimental for your mental health and your employees' mental health, right?
Yes.
So this is what we call a psychological issue brought upon a digital problem. Okay, this is a psychological issue brought upon by a digital problem. So you need to start being sensitive about your people's time, because right now what's going on is people are on all the time. On. Parang wala
Yes.
nang off switch from work. So this is not healthy, right? And you as a leader should really start, okay, I gotta respect. They can't just be waiting on their phones the whole day. Oh, is my boss going to message me? Oh my God, what is boss going to call a meeting? No, please. You have to be sensitive of your employees, right? And you have to be sensitive to your own time, right? Which brings us to our next point: more anxieties, less me time or self care time. Because, like what we said, the boundaries are now blurry, right? So Maria, would you like to discuss a little bit about how there's how the anxieties could have been, how this anxiety, anxious feelings come about, and then, like, why is me time so much less now when we're just at home, right?
So, okay. So let's start with the physical environment. The physical environment causes a lot of anxiety because you have more distractions. Not just people coming in, pero nadidistract ka because this is also your living space. So your tendency to be like, oh my God, why is my drawer so messy? Oh, parang mas marami kang distraction because that is not your, parang temporary, it's a temporary place for you. And then it's possible that you need to keep moving kasi maybe this is not available or that space is not available or the internet connection at where you are is not, it's not that good. So lilipat ka kung saan mas malapit na router. So that kind of like the physical needs of your work would affect you. That's one. The second thing, the physical needs,
Yes.
computer, right? So, of course, if you're in the office, siguro yung computer
Yes.
mo in the office, it's more updated, it's more upgraded, or you have a tech team that you can call on anytime. But if you're at home, siguro the best person that you can call on is a millennial, is a millennial child or
One of your
a
kids.
younger sibling or one of your kids. But it's very hard to ask family members to support you or help you because you're not paying them. They'd be like, diba? So they're not very open to that. So that also adds another stress. Kasi you want to be performing at a very high level, diba? It's not just productivity. You want to do quality work. Pero you would be like, nakaka-overwhelm kasi na suddenly, at paano ba gamitin ang Zoom? Paano ba gamitin yung Kumu? Or let's say today, Zoom and the link between Zoom and Facebook had a problem. So like Olivia and I, we have to switch fast. And if I'm not used to this work, because I've been in this field for a while, online
You would easily
operations.
get frazzled. You would
Yes,
easily get
yes.
frazzled. So like
Yeah,
Maria, I think like we need to make them understand, okay? So I want you guys to understand that we are all going through a very stressful situation because it is a situation that we are forced into. We did not choose to, to be quarantined. It is something that we were forced into. Thank you for that chicken, Timmy. And this causes a lot of anxiety in us because this is out of our control, right? And we have to make the change or else nothing's gonna happen, right? Nothing's gonna happen. So
yeah.
we were forced into changing, right? To be able to sustain our business, to be able to adapt to it, to be able to service our customers better, right? Amidst the COVID crisis. So here's the thing. You also need to take into consideration that aside from the anxieties, right? We are also grieving. We are grieving a lot. The loss of our freedom to move around, the loss of our freedom to the loss of the freedom to have our workspace, our sanctuary from our family, basically, things like that. We are
Yes, yes,
grieving a
yes.
lot. And so we are all going through things. And now there's so many negative news on the media and social media, on all kinds of media. There is also what? There is also a lot of productivity, being productive, the pressure to be productive,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So this puts on a lot on our head, our hearts. So and with the lines kasi being blurry na nga, there's no boundaries, right? But if we don't set this for our employees, what happens is that they're feeling burnt out, they're feeling overstretched, and there will be less productive for you, right? And the same thing for you as a leader. You cannot lead if you're burnt out. You cannot lead properly if you're burnt out and if you're too stressed, right? Because you won't be able to think properly. So it is very important for us to make sure that we acknowledge that people are going through a really stressful time right now, and we need to address that, okay? And we need to be able to give them the proper skill, we need to give them the tools to also take care of themselves. That's why having mental health talks, providing them with webinars, providing them with like the support that they need. A lot of companies now give psychological support to their employees so that they can cope and adapt to the new norm, right?
Mm-mm.
Golden Girl says here, so hard to have some quality output working from home. Yes, this can
Mm-mm.
be quite hard because it's not your normal workplace and there's a lot of distractions going on, right? And aside from that, you're not used to working from home. Okay, so that's
Yeah.
still an adjustment, and that is an adjustment that you have to make really quickly. Hi, Christopher Star. Hi, Legna. So, walang masyadong naging transition tayo, 'di ba? Golden Girl, wala tayong masyadong naging transition going from working in our own establishments to all of a sudden being here at home and having to create, really good stuff. It's quite hard kasi nga marami nangyayari sa atin na yon. Let me see.
And not
Lois says, great topic. Thank you. And Golden Girl
something
says,
I
yes, no one is really prepared for it. That's very true.
yeah.
No one was prepared for this.
And one thing I want to add here is because of the digital transformation, right? You don't realize na when you were working in the office, your phones are separate from your laptops. So, possible na you don't have your work emails on your phone. Pero ngayon, with the evolution, there's a chance na you don't have, like I said, you don't have the right equipment at home. So, you would use the next best thing, which is your phone. But then your phone is
Yes.
also where you relax. It's where you watch your YouTube, you watch your Netflix, it's baka alarm mo pa yon. So at night, it's possible na you get distracted by so many messages, so many emails, kasi everybody work at different times, di ba? So some
Mm-hmm.
people work very early in the morning, some people late at night. Pag, and then you're not really conditioned to ignore those things. So it's possible na your bosses don't
Yes.
really need, parang they're just sending the email, or they're just, they just wanted to take it off their plate. Pero for you, you would think na, oh, it's a demand. Kasi pumasok siya dito. Pero again, kasi nga, there's no more
Yes.
structure. It's not like when you're in the office, or when you have one, if you have the right equipment, pwede mo siya i-separate. So like me, I have two phones. One of my phones does not have social media. It's just siguro for my writing, when I write there, my alarm. Pero I don't install everything on all the phones. Kasi for me, sometimes at night, it really affects the sleep. So you add on that anxiety that you bring to sleep. Hindi lang siya, it's really detrimental to your sleep quality, to your health. Hindi lang kasi mental health eh. You're also looking at your physical health. That is caused by all this. And then you
Yes.
have those emotional, may
Can
mga emotional changes din siya. And let's say when you're working on the
Yes, that's
computer,
very, very true, Maria.
yes, and because you're working on the, dahil nga ngayon, all the lines are blurred. Sabi mo, we're having a meeting right now. Bigla kang nagkaroon ng notification na, oh my God, my friend got COVID. Just imagine how that would shatter your
Yes.
parang your whole
In the middle
momentum,
of a meeting,
right?
right?
Exactly, right?
Yes.
So, and then you, na-shock ka na, then you add on, na guilty ka, you feel very guilted into, bakit ko ginawa yun? That's very unprofessional, blah, blah, blah. So, ang dami mong doubts na dumalabas pa. So, those are added anxiety on top of the anxiety that you're experiencing with the COVID, with the chance of you getting infected. So, that's one. Then you have that anxiety of looking and staying productive and professional all the time. Then you have that urgency of wanting to be ahead of the trend, right? And then you have that need to be comparing yourself or on what people are doing, right? And then you have that time na you have that how do you call this, that time to get used to a new app, a new program, a new something on your phone, and that sucks time. Like when I first used Zoom,
Yes.
it's not seamless, or even sa Kumu, right? It wasn't seamless. It took time to figure things out, right? Hindi siya katulad na nasa office ka, you can ask the tech person to walk you through it, one step, two step, three. Dito parang ang daming factors
You
that
have to figure things
that
out. You have to figure things
yes,
out by yourself, right? And for people who aren't techie, this is a really stressful thing. It is a very
yes,
stressful thing. Golden Girl says, I don't have work email on my phone. That's a good one because you're able to compartmentalize, right? But now with the
yes,
COVID
yes,
thing,
yes.
parang lahat na sama-sama all of a sudden, right? But I wanted to add,
Baka you have a
like,
chat group.
Maria, when you, yeah, exactly. Or like your boss messages you at 12 midnight and then all of a sudden, you take a look at biglang na-stress ka bigla, diba? Because, oh
Yeah,
my goodness,
exactly.
does he need this right away? Diba? So it's always like, always you're always turned on. There's no off switch right now. It's not like, okay, it's time for me to go home right now and I can just, okay, worry about this later or tomorrow when I go back to work. It's no longer like that. Lois says, how do we compartmentalize professional and personal life while at home? So this is a really, really good question, Lois. So we've been actually talking about that. What we talked about kanina was you really need to identify a workspace, right? And then you need to respect your work hours. So just like when you were in the office, as a leader, you should really, really implement this. Just like when you were in the office, right? You start work at 8 a.m., you have lunch at 12, you get back at 1, you turn off by 5 p.m. But then, like I said, sometimes the location itself is hard, diba? Sobrang maraming distractions like the doggies, your mom, your dad. So make sure that you communicate to your whole family. Okay, you have to communicate that mom, dad, I'm not just chilling. I am actually working and I need to work because we need money even though the crisis is going on, right? I need to sustain my business and I need to take care of my employees. It may seem like I'm not doing anything because I'm just in my pajamas, but I am still working. So it's very important that you communicate with with everybody and the family, right? Especially the kids, because it's very hard for the kids to understand. They don't know why mommy or daddy isn't able to play with them, right? They don't understand that, okay, mommy's working right now, because your kids just think, oh, they're home, I should be able to interact with them. So there has to be boundary setting. That's right,
Yeah.
Lois. Right? So maybe
I,
if you don't have a
yeah, I
home
want
office, right, you can designate a certain place to work at.
Yes. And
Go
siguro
ahead,
I'll add
Maria.
na especially for kids, you can give them parang signals. Sabihin mo, okay, if mommy is wearing, I don't know, a blue shirt or whatever, it means I'm working. Or parang lagyan lang siya ng some kind
Yes.
of like sign na this is office time. Either it's like I don't know, when you have your headphones
Mm-hmm.
on, or let's say when you're wearing a certain, siguro may jacket ka, once you wear it on, okay, I'm working. Then if I'm
Or
having
even
lunch, then I'll take it off.
identifying a certain works area, right? Or not
Yes,
just
yes. When
identifying a
if I'm
specific
here,
work area. So like you tell them, if I'm here at sitting at the desk, please do not disturb me, right?
yes,
So it's very
yes.
important that they know that, okay, this is work time, right? That now mommy and daddy is doing their job. So it's very important for you to go ahead and not disturb mommy and daddy, right? So
Mm-mm.
another thing, Maria, that we wanted to touch on is actually supporting your team members aside from supporting yourself, right? As a leader, as a business owner, you're because at first you really have to make sure that you are consciously aware and put conscious effort into taking care of yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, it's going to be very hard for you to take care of your people. But Maria, what are the ways that we can support our team members now, right, for them to be able to cope with this crisis? Should we give them some
With-
tools or maybe some webinars, right?
So of course you can give them more things. It's here's the thing. I think with boss and employees, sometimes a suggestion can be taken as a directive, and that can be perceived another stressor.
Yes.
So I think the best way is to first survey how can we support you, what needs do you have, and better for Mia is to have options. Don't ask open-ended questions during this time kasi these are the times when people are really too overwhelmed to even consider what's happening and what's not. So something like, okay, do you need
Mm-hmm.
webinars? Would a weekly webinar on mental health help you? Then yes or no. Ganun lang. If just those questions, kasi people want to feel
Mm-hmm.
engaged, okay? Pero you don't want them to be stressed and engaged. So engagement is
Yes.
fine, pero
Having too
you
many
don't
options sometimes.
it gets confusing then. And then wanting them to be part of everything, medyo
Mm-hmm.
magulo siya. So that's one. The second thing is really, really implementing certain work structure, certain work pieces. So like me, I'll always just say, sobrang clear ako na these are the things that are priority. The rest, we can take it at a time or we can review that for next week. Because most of the time, like, especially in the Filipino culture, right? Um, Filipinos don't speak out kung what's happening or what's their experience.
Yes.
So, parang, so like me, when
They're
I
quite
first hired my
embarrassed.
assistants, yes, yes, yes. So I've worked with really a big team, and I've had different clients from all over the world. So sa akin kasi sobrang importante yung communication style more than the skill of the person in my team. Kasi kasi for me, I'm very upfront and I don't like to talk too long. Pero I'm very open for suggestions. So for other people, they might think I'm very I'm hands on, pero I don't really. I'm not a micromanager. I don't care how they do it. Basta they tell me yes or no when I can do it. Yung they
Output
don't leave me
driven.
hanging. Yes, yes, but that kind of di- due diligence, I think dahil nag-shift to online, ang daming ang dami siyang nagiging, I think we need to communicate. May mga keywords tayo na ginagamit. So let's say in your email or your chat, be very specific on question or should do or please do or please, yung just that keyword is
Yes, because
important
it's
kasi
because it's important. Sorry, I just wanted to
kasi
add because emails and text messages, they don't have your tone of the voice. You know what I
yes,
mean?
yes, yes,
So
yes, yes.
sometimes it could be misunderstood.
Misunderstood. So for me, pag lalo na in text messages or emails or group chats, lalo na right, remember right, recently Zoom had issues, right, with hacking, with tech. And isipin mo, your
Yes.
team just got used to Zoom. Tapos you're worried about the security, right? Let's say as a leader, you'll be like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, should I think we should siguro i-message mo lang sa group chat na I think we should switch to something else. So that can be interpreted as we should instead of should we, right? Should we
Kailanan
go?
talaga,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
a directive instead
So
of a
that's a good
question.
point.
So those kinds of like it's very small tweaks, pero that will really help. Kasi sa akin, lagi ko siyang urgent. Yan, urgent, it means I need it now. The others, it's more open. I'm very, very, very good in writing those pieces para clear yung expectations ng leader and the team, and that would allow more seamless and more productive, more effective way of working. Kasi nga, with the messaging, you don't have,
Yes, that's
hindi,
true.
parang mas less engagement. Lalo na kung naisip
There's
mo
no
lang sa gabi, you
emotions, there's
text the
no there's
person.
no body language, there's no facial stuff. So it could be read the way that they filter you in their head.
Yes,
Now, Maria,
exactly.
not to cut this short or anything, because I know that next week we're gonna get into the nitty gritty on
Yes,
how
yes.
you should how you're going to help yourself as a CEO, and then the following week we're gonna get into the details of how you can support your employees, right? So right now it's a very blanketed discussion, right? But next week we will be talking about the specifics on how you can take care of yourself as a CEO or as a business owner so that you can properly support your team. And then the following week, we are going to be talking about how to really help employees remain, engaged, healthy, productive, and during the times of quarantine. So I really, really want you guys to know that we are really trying to help you guys out. So this show isn't just about about the negosyante or just the CEOs. It's about everybody because a business is composed of different stakeholders. Okay, we've talked
Yes,
about the
exactly.
customers, we've talked about the employees, we've talked about this the other stock what do you call it, the investors. So we need to be able to support everybody, right? Now, one thing that I wanted to add was that it is very important to realize that the nature of human dynamics does not change from level to level. Okay, whether we are in an office or we are on a Zoom link, right, or a Zoom meeting, the nature of human dynamics does not change. Okay, so you're still gonna have your snitches, you're still gonna have your employees who have an attitude, you're still gonna have those employees that are kind of like the saviors, right? So you need to really identify those and work them into your system, work them into when you set your new structure, when you set your expectations and boundaries. As a leader, you need to make that conscious effort, right? So that you can create a better way to what do you call this, to engage your employees so that they can be more productive, right? Because I remember it was Obama, I think it was Barack Obama who said that you need to ask yourself, if you're a leader, you need to ask yourself, do you have a community that stands behind what you stand for?
Mm-mm.
Right? If you do, you have more power. If you don't, then you won't have that power, right? So like through this transition to our new normal, right? Actually there was very little transition to this new normal. We were forced into this new normal. As a leader, you have to really be intuitive about who comprises your team, right? And who would be the best to help you, with this and setting this new structure and new boundaries and boundary setting and expectation setting. Celsi says, what do you think is the best way to market a startup business? Oh, it's a that okay. That's a little bit off topic right now, but you know what? To market a startup business, we've got startup founders over here. Like Christopher Star just signed in. Timmy Sky is here, right? So like to
And I
when
think,
you do a
Olivia, we
startup
have
business,
we do have a virtual
yes,
event coming, that these questions we can really
yes,
go even more customized. This will be our virtual
exactly,
event, would be
yes.
on April 24. So maybe, Olivia, can you, let's just send this person the
Sassy,
information.
yes.
Sige. So
I'm
let's just
taking
send the information.
I'm taking I will send you the information for
Let's
this. You could
go.
also check out our IG page, or here my on Kumu. I will post about our event on April. When was it,
Yes.
Maria? April
24,
24.
next Friday.
On
Tama ba?
April
Next Friday?
24,
Yes.
we are doing negosyo tips for a cause, right? We are doing negosyo tips for a cause. And this is a lightning round thing wherein we give you will have to fill out a form to let us know what your concerns are and everything. And then when
Yes.
we get there,
And you,
it is a donation based thing, okay? Because it's actually a fundraising for um for frontliners. So we are going to be there to help you guys out. So you will fill out a form, you will tell us your concerns, and then we will sit with you and we will bust out, we will
yes,
brainstorm
yes.
all of ideas on
Uh,
how we
yeah.
can help your
And
business, right?
and
How
this
you
way you
can
can give us
sustain it, how
more,
you can market it, whatever your concern is.
yeah, and
Yes,
this
definitely.
round
And
will
this
give
is,
us
you
more
know,
context
you can
around
also
it.
learn from other people. Hi, Mads Mac.
Yeah.
So yes, guys, I really want to make sure that you guys know what's going to be happening for the next couple of weeks. So like intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. That's right. That's actually that is right. That's very thank you for that, Lois. No, I love how engaged our people are right now, right? So next week we will be discussing, okay, how you can help yourself, support yourself as a business owner, as a leader. All right. The following week we will be talking about how you can support your employees. And then we will have the negotiate tips for a cause. It is a donation drive actually. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wherein
And this is, and just
you
to
can
give,
brainstorm with
I
us.
think just to give a, yeah, yeah, just to give a reference for people, my rates start at $400 an hour. So take this time. This is really, we're doing this for a cause. Take this time to really benefit from
Yes.
our expertise. Because for me, I charge in dollars. I don't know. I think Olivia also charges quite at a premium. So we want to really serve at this time, and we want to help the way we can. In especially for us, it's in our service. So
Okay,
so
guys, we are not
let's,
charging you that. Okay, we are not
yeah, yeah,
charging
yeah.
you
This is
that.
a,
We
yeah,
are
this is
just
just a
it's a
reference.
donation basis.
Yeah.
So like we have like I think we've said I think the minimum donation is how much was it, Maria? Minimum
350
donation was
pesos.
set on
350 pesos.
350 pesos,
350
right?
pesos. Yeah.
350
Uh-uh.
pesos, that is the minimum, right? The minimum. And then that will get you a Zoom link to sit down with us, and then we can do our consultation, right? And then
Yeah.
of course if you can donate more, that would be great, because it will really go to a good cause. We are helping out our frontliners, right? So okay guys, so is there any questions?
More
Is there
specific to
any
this.
other questions that, yeah, more specific to this topic right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
If there is none, I would really like to thank everybody for like coming and
Yeah.
staying with us tonight and learning from us and giving us the opportunity to, you know, to educate and empower you guys. And we hope to see you guys next week, wherein we will be talking about, like what I said, the specifics on how you can help yourself, right? How to support yourself so that you can be a better leader, a better business owner, right? Thank you so much, Lois. I am so happy to hear that you enjoyed and that you learned something. Maria, any parting words?
Well, I hope to see you in that virtual event. This is really something I'm passionate about. Even in my business, like I think I had a very, very great business this month because we're adapting with the trend. So I'm really, really looking forward to support you through this donation-based cause, right? And so I'm very excited. Please join us. That's April 24. Let if you're on Kumu, let Olivia know if you really want the first dibs. Kasi this is a limited slot thing. And then if you're on Facebook, please
There's
let me
only
know.
35 slots.
Yes, yes. So if you're in Facebook, please let me know. So we'll have. Don't worry, we'll take care of you. I know what I'm doing. This is my expertise. So
We will.
and Olivia also
We
does
will
it.
take care
So
of you.
we will take care of you. All right, we'll answer all your questions. But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. And please remember, like right now, communication is key. I think it's okay for, let's say, if you're an employee to confirm with your boss, is this as a, are you is this what you want, or is this something that you're just asking? Siguro phrase it in a more Filipino way. For me in English, I will just write it that way. Pero just something to make it more, i-clarify mo lang, is this a priority, or is this something we should do now? Or is this something to be discussed? That way, you would know kung ano yung urgency ng isang conversation or isang thought or isang idea. Especially today, there's no layers of
Mhm.
emotions in text and messages.
Okay, guys. So that's it for tonight. I hope that you guys learned something, and we hope to see you guys next week for the next Startup Secrets, the Real Negosyante Talk. We really, really love talking to everybody and discussing with you guys. Um, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to educate and empower all of you. So I hope to see you next week, Lois. I hope to see you next week, Golden Girl and Timmy and Mac and Jason. We hope to see you guys all next week, okay? Thank you
Yes.
so much for the gifts, guys. Bye, guys. Thank you so much.